eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number one, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 3 out of 4 from the Detroit Tigers on the road this past weekend, including a 7-5 extra innings win on Sunday that featured a 3-run homer by Christian Walker in the 10th inning. Next up is a home series versus the Minnesota Twins. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch from Dyken Park scheduled for 7:10. You can listen to the action on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. We moved into the knockout stages of the World Cup, and the first match was yesterday when Canada eliminated South Africa 1-0 when Stefan Eustáquio scored in the 92nd minute. Today we'll feature 3 more matches. It'll begin with Brazil versus Japan at noon, then Germany will play Paraguay at 3:30, and the nightcap will be the Netherlands versus Morocco at 8 o'clock. Former LSU Tiger Flau'jae Johnson became the second fastest guard in WNBA history since 1997 to score 250-plus points, grab 100-plus rebounds, and have 50-plus assists. The 22-year-old Johnson did so in 20 career games. Weather played a factor all weekend in Cromwell, Connecticut for the Travelers Championship. Scotty Scheffler sunk an 8-foot putt on hole 18 to force a playoff which will take place this morning to decide a tournament winner. And Charlotte Hornets aren't finished making trades. This time they shipped Miles Bridges, a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2027 pick swap in the second round to the Phoenix Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first-round pick. I'm James Mesh, and this will be your 2-minute drill on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. You can give us a call on the ESPN hotline in about 15 minutes as we broadcast live from the Bill and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown attorneys. On this glorious Monday morning, I knew it was possible, but I was not really expecting it. Going into this 4-game series with Detroit, I was like, chances of winning 5 series in a row, not real good. The Astros really had a tough time getting the Tigers out when they beat them 2 out of 3 in Houston. And the Tigers going into that series had the best record in the American League in the month of June, and we're sniffing July, so it's not like we're a week into June or a week and a half into June or anything. And to be fair, they didn't get them out in Detroit either. But it's tough to win when your bullpen is miserable. and you don't play great defense. Like, it's tough. Like, you open yourselves up for trouble just constantly when you don't play good defense and your bullpen is miserable. No team in the major leagues has blown more saves than the Tigers bullpen this year. It's starting to get around 30. So I don't remember. The number was like 27, 28, something like that. Let's just say it's 28. So they've blown 28 saves. So say they've only blown 17 or 18 saves, which is still a pretty good amount, but not 28 or 29, whatever. I mean, it's unbelievable how many they've blown. So let's say it's 20. I mean, if they have just 10 or 11, they'd be right there in the middle of. They'd be in great shape. So it is unusual to be that bad of a bullpen. The Nationals bullpen is miserable, and I don't know how anybody could have a worse bullpen what the Nationals have done this year, but the Tigers have figured out a way to do it. And it was frustrating because over those 7 games, because I talked about it, they had lost 21 out of 25, mostly in May. They haven't hit, like, almost everybody's batting average starts with, like, other than Dylan Dingler, who the Astros went like 0 for 5 yesterday, go figure that. But all their hitters are hitting like 170, 159, 202. I mean, they just look miserable when you look at their stats. But again, most of that was clouded by just a miserable May. They're not that team anymore. And they're just hitting shots. Just awful hitters like James Outman, home run off for Hunter Brown. Crushed it. Zach McKinstry, 179 batting average or whatever he's hitting, 3-run homer. I mean, Kerry Carpenter's always just crushed the Astros. Grand slam, 3-run homer, Kerry Carpenter. I'm like, all these guys, they couldn't get him out. And yet they hung in there, and they just obliterated the bullpen. Just obliterated the bullpen. So the Astros went 5-2, even though they didn't get them out for 7 games, and they got all these awful hitters crushing balls. I mean, they hit in those 7 games. The Tigers must have hit at least 6 or 7 homers foul. Like, they were just crushing balls, and they hit a lot of homers fair too. But Astros came out of it. It stink, but it's so important to play defense and have a good bullpen. And the Astros did make an error yesterday, and it was very frustrating. Delgado did, but he came back and hit a 2-run homer. And so, no, great series victory. They won 5 in a row. Now they need to not come home and stink it up because they did well on the road. The Astros are now 1 game out of first place in the division and like a half a game out of the wild card. So they're in great position. The problem is the Rangers are hot. The Rangers and the Astros, from that pitiful, embarrassing American League West, just went 6-1 against the defending American League champs, the Blue Jays. So it's the Rangers, for I think they said it was the second or third time in franchise history, swept a 4-game series from the Blue Jays. And the Rangers, I don't know how they do it. I know how they do it. They have great starting pitching. But other than that, their lineup doesn't look good. Their bullpen doesn't look good. I don't know how the Rangers have the record they have. When the Astros have played them, they haven't looked good at all. And yet they're 500. And right now, that puts them a half a game ahead of Seattle and a game up on the Astros. By the way, with 40 wins, the American League West 4th place team would be in 3rd place in the Central and in 3rd place in the East. They have a better record than more wins than the 3rd place team from the other two divisions are the same. So, and a little bit better record. So, the depth is really good. It's just certainly not top heavy at all. But neither is the American League. Last week, we talked about how the Red Sox had hit rock bottom when they blew that game and lost the series at Colorado. And a lot of people were saying, well, that's it. And this is the beauty of baseball. That's it. They're going to be sellers now. They're done. The Red Sox are done. That's it. And they go home after hitting rock bottom, blowing a 6-1 lead to lose the series to the Rockies with self-inflicted wound after self-inflicted wound. And they go home and sweep a 4-game series. First time in 8 years they swept a 4-game series against the Yankees. And it goes to show one of the things that the more I watch baseball, I just think it's one of the most deceiving things that people say. And it's one of the worst things you can do to evaluate how tough or not tough a series is, how challenging or not challenging a series is. It's to look at the overall record. Because it really has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, in other words, it's what I always say. It's not who you play, it's when you play them. So, in that particular situation, the Red Sox had just hit rock bottom. So, when you hit rock bottom, you got one or two choices. You can get motivated and have a, as they say, a come to Jesus meeting and get things right, or you can just fade off and quit and move on with your life. I mean, if the Red Sox had quit and moved on and accepted the fact that they're going to be sellers and just, oh well, we don't care. We're bad, and we know that a lot of these guys that we're playing with right now are about to be traded. Then it would have been an easy series for the Yankees. Well, it come to find out, they got motivated. I don't know if they had a come to Jesus meeting, but in effect they did. They had an embarrassing loss to lose a series at Colorado, arguably the worst team in baseball, and it looked like they were absolutely cooked. But instead, they go home and sweep a 4-game series for the Yankees, who fell to second place in the division. And now, if you're a Red Sox fan, are you happy? Of course you're not happy. You're 4.5 games out of the playoffs. 4.5 games out of the playoffs. That's what the Red Sox are after sweeping that 4-game series from the Yankees. So are they out of it? No, not even close to out of it. There's basically a half a season left. And we talked about it last week. I don't know. I don't know who is going to sell. I mean, some people, there will be trades at the trade deadline next month. I just don't know who is in selling position. The Mets, I guess. Even the Mets are only 9.5 out the playoffs. I mean, we're not even in July yet. You can all you got to do is get hot for 2 weeks and you can overcome most of that. So I guess the Mets, maybe the Giants, Colorado. I mean, I want the Astros to get Mickey Moniak. But, I mean, look, the last place team in the American League right now is the Royals. There were multiple people that were picking the Royals to go to the World Series when this season started. And now they got the worst record in the American League. So, and this was supposed to be a good year for them. Same thing with the Tigers. A lot of people had them going to the playoffs and made dark horse to go to the World Series. The little MVPs are currently ahead of the Tigers and the Royals. So, again, I don't know who's going to sell because pretty much everybody is still in it right now because the American League, I mean, the Yankees they have a fine record, and the Rays have a fine record. Everyone else, it's kind of, within shouting distance of 500. And the Astros are now, they only have 6. The Astros are only 6 wins out of the number 1 record being the best record in the American League. 6. We got half a season to go. So it's fascinating the way it worked out over the weekend. Seattle has struggled. Going into preseason, I'm not saying there was anything wrong with picking Seattle to win the division. I picked them to win the division. But the kind of stuff I was hearing was like, they're like the biggest lock to win a division. And other than the Dodgers and maybe the Yankees, people were saying, these experts, like the Seattle's the biggest lock to win. And I'm like, where's that coming from? Why? They can't hit. They got great starting pitching, which is why I always respected them. But I mean, their bullpen's good, but it's not like tremendous. And they can't hit. I didn't get that either. So we'll see how it all plays out. Very interesting is what I'm saying. There are so many teams that are still in it in the American League, and so it's going to be a very interesting second half of the season for Major League Baseball fans, no question. All right, it's time for a timeout, so we'll do this. When we come back, we'll get our poll question of the day. We'll set our stage for, what is this, week 5 of our Footnotes Summer Project. For many of us, could be the best week. If you did not hear on Friday, we announced what we're doing this week. But this is UL LSU McNeese week. So we're going to be, it's 1-2 punches if you haven't got the theme of the summer for our Footnote Summer Project. It's UL LSU McNeese week. So we're going to need some help from our friends from Lake Charles for some McNeese suggestions. And however many we get, that's what we'll do. And what I mean by that is if we get 1 million, I'm just throwing out a number. If we get 100 suggestions or whatever a big number would be, and we have enough to do football, basketball, or baseball, then we'll do it. And if we don't get enough suggestions, we'll just do an overall 1-2 punch. If we get enough for football, then we'll do top 10 for football and everything else. I mean, whatever. Again, most of it is to have fun, to educate, to remind ourselves, to talk about, I remember when this guy did this, or this team was, or these players were great, or whatever, and I was part of that team that's all part of summer fun. It's part of being a fan, reminiscing about the great players and teams that you watch growing up. I mean, most of us who are sports fans have done that our whole lives. So, it's UL LSU McNeese week. Any sport, and we'll see how many suggestions we get, and that'll dictate, how we finish up on Friday. But just talking about it is the biggest fun part of all of that. All right, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Regional homes of Opelousas and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles want to help you celebrate America's 250th birthday. We're giving you a chance to win 250th anniversary American flag and flagpole kit. Tune in today during the lowdown with D-Lo from 1 to 3 for the American trivia question, and you could be one of our lucky winners. Tune in later today for our special giveaway. Salute and happy 250th birthday, America.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. bbsautosales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
Kevin Foote prides himself on being a glass half full guy.
They're playing the Athletics. The cat from Seinfeld's starting for the Astros today. I'm supposed to think we're going to win? This cat, how old is this cat? Plus, he's short. I mean, how are we going to win this game? This guy's ERA he's got a Peyton Manning ERA.
If that's a glass half full, I don't want to hear what an empty glass sounds like.
You betcha.
Back to more of the most positive man in Louisiana sports talk here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
Welcome back to Footnotes. All righty, so let us start this segment by taking care of business before I let it slip too far into the hour. What is our poll question of the day, sir?
Absolutely. On this Monday, we'd asked you on Facebook and X, since this weekend will be 4th of July, on Saturday specifically, we're going to try and get patriotic this week, Kat. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What was the most patriotic moment in MLB history? Are we looking at Garrick's farewell speech, Rick Monday saving the flag, President Bush's first pitch, or is there a different moment that stands out to you?
Well, I mean, I think Garrick's speech, it was tremendous, and his whole story is tremendous. I don't know. I mean, it's a great piece of just, heartfelt, being a human being. I don't know how patriotic that is. But I don't know how you separate Rick Monday. Obviously, the Rick Monday thing was a one-time thing in a turbulent era in our country's history, and it was tremendous what he did. It was very patriotic. The whole Bush first pitch thing was, probably was a little bit more widespread, I guess, bigger stage. I don't know, though. I mean, the country is the country, so I don't know how you separate those two. I would like, if you could vote for both, I would like to, I would vote for both of those easily.
And what were the two again?
Rick Monday and Bush.
Bush?
I just obviously the whole Bush thing was tremendous. The fact that he threw the pitch so well, the pressure that he was under,
it kind of adds to it as well. The fact that it was actually a good ball, because we know how bad first pitches can be.
They can be bad, especially, what was he? I don't know, 50-something years old when he did this, however old he was. Maybe even a little older than that. I don't know. But I don't know how you separate those two. I think the Bush one probably made more of America was behind that situation, obviously, because of the 9/11. And maybe you could say the Monday one is more standing out because, America was very divided back then. That was, we're talking about, it was kind of chaotic. Not that different than it is right now in a lot of ways.
By the way, President Bush was 54 at that point.
54, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a great question because it's very tough for me to give an answer. I could just as I think I'm going to end up voting for Monday, but certainly get why anyone would say Bush. And I'm just it just depends on how you look at it and how you talk yourself into it. I would say it takes more courage to go against what other people are saying, probably. And so I think both of them were very courageous acts because, there was some thought that he could be in danger, President Bush going out there at that particular time.
And you're on the mound.
By yourself. Yeah.
You're kind of open.
Yeah. So no question it was a courageous act, and he did a tremendous job. And Monday, I don't think Rick Monday got up that day preparing to do that, but when he saw it, he reacted in the way that he should, and so it was cool. So I don't know. That's tough. I think I'll vote for Monday, but I could just as easily vote for Bush. So, all right, let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
I want to go back to Friday's show, the tail end of your the NBA duos. And, everything was going smooth, man, until you start talking about the head coaches being included. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, we did that. We did that earlier. We did that for the was it baseball or no, the NFL? We did that. We did that for the NFL.
With who?
We did. Let's see, which coaches did we do? We did Brady and we did
Brady and Belichick.
Brady and Belichick.
I thought that was tongue in cheek. That wasn't. I thought that was tongue in cheek. That actually made the list.
Well, it didn't make the top 10, but it was certainly suggested. Yeah, we talked about how there were coaches combinations. We talked about Breeze and Casper. Yeah, we it wasn't the first time we had done coaches. We had done that earlier.
I don't know, man. I think that's a whole nother conversation in itself. I'm not. Of course, coaches are very important, but Sean Payton's not throwing the first down out there. He's not running. He's not going through the tackles. I understand they come up with the game plan and everything. I don't know. I think you could have a category for that, like Dan Fouts and Air Coryell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I think it minimizes what the players, I don't know. Like I said, when I heard it, I was like, wait, what?
Well, it wasn't planned. It was just that someone brought it up. We didn't bring it up. Someone brought it up, and I'm like, wait a minute. We did this 2 weeks ago. We didn't even think about it last week. And I think it's because I made the comment that we all perceive, rightly or wrongly, that the NBA is about the players and the coaches not really as meaningful as like an NFL coach is meaningful to what's actually going out on the field. And so I think most of us look at coaches playing a bigger role in football as to what's happening. And in the NBA, it's more about the players. Again, that could be right or wrong. That's just what a lot of us perceive. And I think that's why we never brought coaches in until the end.
Hey, who's the DB, but not Orlando Thomas? Who's the DB that also played for the Vikings and went to USL?
Todd Scott?
Yeah. No, did he play with Thomas at USL?
I think he was a little – they might have got – I think he was just before. I'd have to go back and look at the years. And I think he was just before, but I'd have to look at the years.
Okay, so I can't add that duo. Yeah, I'm curious about.
I mean, we'll look it up, but I think they might have missed each other. But we'll have to look that up, and we're probably going to have to look up quite a few on this list. But yeah, that is a thought.
Wait, one more, Kevin Brooks, the basketball player, some great years. Who was his duo?
Oh, Aaron Mitchell. It was it was Mitchell and Brooks for sure. Yes.
And would you say now Michael Adams? That was with Byron Starks? No.
Well, Michael Allen. He could be Byron Starks.
I'm sorry, Michael Allen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be Byron. That would be a good one.
Yeah. I'm going to struggle in this. Well, not really, but I just want to hear the thoughts from the USL fans. McNeese. I don't know too much about McNeese. Well, you have a good one, and thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's a good start. Allen and Starks, and you could. I mean, from a point guard standpoint, for that 1 year, you could do Eric Muto and Allen. I mean, they both kind of went back and forth. You had one that was more offensive, one that was more of a point guard. But yeah, Starks was kind of the consistent guy on that, and that would be that would be a go. Of course, that team was pretty balanced. That was the part of the benefit of that team and what made it so good. But no, Starks Allen would be a good one. All right, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 3 out of 4 from the Detroit Tigers on the road this past weekend, including a 7-5 extra innings win on Sunday that featured a 3-run homer by Christian Walker in the 10th inning. Next up is a home series versus the Minnesota Twins. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch from Dyken Park scheduled for 7:10. You can listen to the action on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. We moved into the knockout stages of the World Cup, and the first match was yesterday when Canada eliminated South Africa 1-0 when Stefan Eustáquio scored in the 92nd minute. Today we'll feature 3 more matches. It'll begin with Brazil versus Japan at noon, then Germany will play Paraguay at 3:30, and the nightcap will be the Netherlands versus Morocco at 8 o'clock. Former LSU Tiger Flau'jae Johnson became the second fastest guard in WNBA history since 1997 to score 250-plus points, grab 100-plus rebounds, and have 50-plus assists. The 22-year-old Johnson did so in 20 career games. Weather played a factor all weekend in Cromwell, Connecticut for the Travelers Championship. Scotty Scheffler sunk an 8-foot putt on hole 18 to force a playoff which will take place this morning to decide a tournament winner. And Charlotte Hornets aren't finished making trades. This time they shipped Miles Bridges, a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2027 pick swap in the second round to the Phoenix Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first-round pick. I'm James Mesh, and this will be your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563. Lafayette Stars and Stripes is back and bigger than ever as America celebrates its 250th anniversary. Join us Saturday, July 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette for a night of patriotic fun. Gates open at 5 p.m. with live music by Sold Out and Rusty Mtwire and the Zydeco Crush, along with delicious food trucks, family activities, local vendors, and plenty of surprises. Then look to the sky for a spectacular fireworks finale at 9:30 p.m. Free admission presented by Lafayette Utility System, LFT Fiber, and Delta Media.
Happy birthday, America. Celebrate our 250th birthday with the largest selection of guaranteed fireworks in Acadiana at Freeman's Discount Fireworks. Their low prices are unbelievable, and all fireworks are guaranteed. They have a huge selection of novelty items to choose from, a large selection of fireworks, and Freeman's Fireworks has the largest selection of artillery shells, assortment packs, and 500-gram cakes. Celebrate America's 250th birthday with your family and the Freeman family with guaranteed fireworks that everyone enjoys. Freeman's Discount Fireworks has 2 convenient locations in New Iberia. They're building on Jefferson Island Road at Admiral Doyle next to Freeman's Food and Furniture, and the Big Tent on Main Street near the corner of Nelson Canal Road. For the largest selection of guaranteed fireworks at the best prices, shop Freeman's Discount Fireworks. Make it a spectacular.
People often ask, is Kevin Foote crazy? Let's look at the evidence. He can recite box scores from a 1976 baseball game with ease. He puts corn on his spaghetti. And he believes a mythical creature called the Piper determines outcomes of baseball games.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
So, we let you decide. Back to more of the padded room annex of Footnotes.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to give us a call, the ESPN hotline, 706-0111, 706-0111. All right. Got quite a few, obviously, for purposes of radio, we would like that you call, but it's okay if people text in some suggestions here and there. We've been doing that through the first month. Text in, and also we had previous ones from the very first when we did college basketball, for instance. We had 1-2 punches mentioned. We remember we were trying to determine who to put with Andrew Toney, and the problem with having a great player is it really a 1-2 punch? That's a tricky thing. And then, my favorite one was Tony and Cordy Glenn, because when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, my favorite I'm a power forward guy. I've said that many times. My favorite player was Cordy Glenn, and then my favorite player after that was Deion Brown. And that's just kind of who I like. My favorite New Orleans Jazz was Truck Robinson. And so I like power forwards. I like 15 and 10 guys, lunch pail guys. But so you could say any of those. We've got suggested for the Cajuns, Peyton and Long, and from the previous Lamar and Ebron, and we just had Starks and Allen. So we had quite a few Cajun basketball players mentioned on the 1-2 punches so far. And obviously we'll get a lot more. And, again, I know enough McNeese history to give some suggestions, but as I said last week and again earlier, we're going to need some help from our friends in Lake Charles to where we have enough representation here with McNeese, and we certainly want to do that. So hopefully we'll get some help as the week goes on from there, and if not, I can certainly throw that out some from that. Have plenty of memories of McNeese players and in football, for years, it didn't go very well when I was young for most of those games, or a lot of those games anyway, between the Cajuns and McNeese. And so there's some memories there as well. All right, so we started out obviously talking about the Astros and their winning, and something it's about to get interesting, by the way, with the Astros. All right, so before we do that, let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
It's been a while. Yeah. How you been?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'm hanging in there. I don't call that often, but I'm always listening, Kevin.
All right.
Just about
Appreciate
every day.
it.
Every day.
Thank you.
Your caller, Jay, he mentioned Todd Scott and Orlando Thomas. Rest in peace. You remember Kyrese Abear? Also played at USL?
Absolutely. I remember Kyrese.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tice had drafted him, Mike Tice, when they were, and he said he was the steal of the draft when they was in just helmets and shorts and T-shirts, But once they put the pads on, he just didn't make it, man. But I wanted to mention Kevin and Pat Williams. Did anybody bring those two guys up? The Williams Wall?
Kevin and Pat Williams. Well, they didn't play for the Cajuns and
No.
Yeah.
No, but he was talking about 1-2 punches and stuff.
Yeah, right. Oh, no, and Pat Williams got inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this weekend.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, they were good. No question. I got to tell you, your Vikings are, they've always been on my nerves, but I keep everyone. I kind of pitched a fit last week about everyone saying how easy the Saints schedule is, which I think is silly when people talk about how easy a schedule is, because you never know how it's going to play out. But I think your Vikings are going to be way better than people are thinking.
Yeah. I think their projected wins is 8 games maybe, or 7 games, something like that.
Yeah, but you won won that last year with no quarterback play.
I know, huh? Man, and he was my guy when the draft came out. I'm not going to deny that. Of course, I wanted the LSU kid first, but he's just such a raw passer. Oh my God, he's got athletic. He's got a lot of athleticism, and he can run, and he can scramble. But God, his passing is just so raw, and but I don't know. It's not a competition though. KOC saying it's a competition going into training camp with Kyler Murray. There's no competition.
No, I don't think so. I think,
no.
and I don't think Kyler Murray's great, but I think he's good. And if you'd have just had good quarterback play last year, you'd have won double-digit games.
Yeah. So we'll see. You never know, but I'll try to call more, Kevin.
All right, I appreciate it. You too. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. No, I'm worried about the Vikings. They've been torturing me my whole life, so there's plenty to worry about. But I think they're going to be better than people think. But the point I was getting to with the what that hit me over the weekend is what is about to happen? Because theoretically, between now and the All-Star break, Ronald Blanco is going to be available. We for a while there, I thought he was in witness protection with Trey Palmer. But he's getting close. Christian Javier is getting close. I'm not good in math, but I can count to 5 and 6. So let's say Imai continues to be in the rotation. 4 of his last 5 outings were good. Now, the bad one was really bad, but 4 of his last 5 outings were good. So, and plus they made a commitment to him in signing him. So, he's going to be in the rotation. Hunter Brown is going to be in the rotation. I don't think you can pull Peter Lambert. He's been your most consistent starting pitcher all season. He's been your only consistent starting pitcher this season. So now going into the season, he was nowhere on the picture, and that's a fair argument, I guess. But right now, can you really, with as bad as starting pitching as the Astros have gotten this season, most of it because of an injury, but still, can you really not start your most consistent starting pitcher? I don't think you can do that. So I think Imai is going to be in there. I think if Blanco is Blanco, pretty good chance he's going to have to be in the rotation at some point. I don't think you can pull Lambert. I think Christian Javier, when he comes back, is going to be in the rotation. I think Hunter Brown is going to be in the rotation. And his big offseason acquisition, the trade was, other than Imai, was Burrows, who has been bad, but he pitched great in his last start. Probably they're thinking he's in a rotation. That's 6. So where does Arrighetti fit into this? He was the pitcher of the, in the American League of the month in May, and he's had 5 bad outings since then. So he's got a 5 bad outing streak. I think going to a 6-man rotation is very possible, but they're not going to do a 7-man rotation. So which one, I guess you could say, well, we'll just move Lambert to the bullpen. But are you really going to demote your only consistent starting pitcher this season? I don't know. I'm just saying I started counting this weekend, especially after Spencer had another awful outing on Friday. I don't, it's going to be, they could have a tough decision to make here. Now, like we said last year, like we said in the offseason with the Isaac Paredes stuff, injuries tend to make all of that kind of talk that I just said irrelevant, and it kind of takes care of itself. But again, unless one of these healthy guys get hurt, you would like to think / hope that they've waited so long with these other guys, and they're not going to come and pitch one outing and get hurt again. We've been waiting forever for those guys. They've been overly cautious, it seems like, which is fine. But again, I'm counting to 7 here. And so I don't know exactly how they're going to play it. Lambert probably could be a relief pitcher. What I'm wondering is Arrighetti or one of these other guys, maybe a Lambert, although I don't know how much trade value Lambert would have. I think Arrighetti would probably be the most tradable of all of these, which would crush him because he's a big Astro guy. But, I mean, I just wonder if Arrighetti's name is going to come up potentially in trade talks, and would that be a piece they would dangle to try to help the outfield? So, again, I'm counting to 7, and I don't think they're going to have a 7-man rotation. And when you're the Astros, I also understand the argument, Cat, they're always hurt. Why would you trade someone? Maybe they won't. Maybe you got to have as many options as you can because you know you're going to get injured, because you always seem to be injured. But all I'm saying is I'm counting to 7. Spencer needs to pitch well again. Like, he needs to have another good outing pretty soon here. It'll be very interesting. And if he does, that only makes it tougher. Now, they might slow Bronco in and ease him in. Javier, I don't know what I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how this happens because there's no room for somebody if they're all healthy, but like say right around the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season having arrived, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley. Bring you these hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items before the storm makes landfall. Have an emergency kit stop with food, water, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with battery-powered radio. Make sure you have fresh batteries. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crawley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Bryson Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Bryson Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSBA filing number LA2518447.
You've never seen prices this low at Regional Homes of Opelousas. From June 26th through July 3rd, we're clearing out all inventory during our biggest clearance event of the year, the Red, White, and Blue sale. Look for red, white, and blue tagged homes across the lot. Everything must go. These move-in ready homes are priced to sell fast, and with deals this good, it's first come, first served, so do not wait. Stop by today on 14704 Highway 190 in Opelousas to tour our discounted homes before the sale begins, or visit regionalhomesopelousas.com/red tag to learn more.
Kevin Foote claims not to be a QW.
Now, here's the deal. I don't know that I can do anything.
Yet our guy can't stop talking about quarterbacks, especially Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Could he secretly be a QW?
I said you were a closet QW, as we discussed. I think you're more obsessed with the quarterback position and a worshiper than you realize.
Back to more Footnotes with Southwest Louisiana's biggest QW, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back. By the way, Jay brought up Todd Scott. I did look it up. My memory in this particular, my memory has been kind of bad at times lately, but my memory in this particular case was correct. Todd Scott was right before. Todd Scott played from 87. Todd Scott basically played when Brian Mitchell was here, essentially, and late 80s, and Orlando won the state championship at Crawley in 89, so he was a year or two after that, so in the early 90s. So, yeah, they just missed. They did not play together. That's kind of what I remembered. But once you get 30, 40 years later, sometimes, you don't remember exactly when everyone played in relation to one another as you get a little older, sometimes anyway. All right, let us head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I wanted to suggest Joe Charles and Jordan Brown.
Jordan Brown and Joe Charles. So, yeah, again, Jordan Brown was so dominant. It's kind of like the Andrew Toney one. But Joe Charles, on the wing and, the defending and the threes, that he would certainly be one of those suggestions. A lot of Cajun fans were upset when he left, but no, for that year they were very good together.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. That's another interesting one. Like Jordan Brown had that great year where he was named essentially the mid-major, won the Lou Hitson Award for the mid-major player of the year in the country. So he had a fabulous season. So if you were going to do 1-2 punches, that caller suggested Joe Charles. There's probably several different guys you could mention there, but I just think it's a little tougher when you have such a dominant player. But all right. Let's head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
I'm going to holler real quick at you. My favorite LSU 1-2 punch is Rohan Davey and Josh Reed. Of course, they produced at that time, the biggest that LSU record game against Alabama in 2001. And, Josh played that, coach against Josh at range. So
right.
He had 19 catches in that game, and Rohan had like 530 yards. And, they beat the tar out of Alabama. Also from my youth, when my initial, I guess the early initial 1-2 punch, Burt Jones and Andy Hamilton, they were cousins from Rust, both came from Rust, and then probably the first prolific passing duo that, when we moved into the passing era, from the late 60s into the early 70s. So
right.
That was two of my favorites. And I know people think, that Andy Hamilton caught the pass, the cheating pass against Ole Miss. That people like to claim that it was cheating, but with 1 second on the clock. But it was a running back that actually caught the pass in the front edge of the end zone. So it was Brad Davis. So
right.
Those are two of my favorites.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Kevin.
Thank you, Manny. No, those are good ones. I mean, Reed was like the Biletnikoff winner. So I mean, yeah, they had a fabulous run there, and Burt Jones, Andy Hamilton was like right before my time, and I mean, it's possible I saw a few of those games, but I was kind of young and didn't really know all what was going on just yet. It was like a year or two before I really started kind of following LSU as a youngster. But that's a good one for sure. 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday, powered by Regional Homes of Opelousas and ESPN 1037 and 1041. We're giving you the chance to win a 250th Anniversary of America flag and flagpole kit. Listen on air for the American Trivia question, and you could be one of our lucky winners. We're giving away 5 flag and 5 flagpole kits during the week of July 4th. Thanks to our friends at Regional Homes of Opelousas. Salute, and happy 250th birthday, America.
Acadiana area businesses, is it time to make an impact? Time for more traffic, more engagement, time for more customers? Then it's time to make a splash with Bass. Bass is now offering digital marketing, indoor and outdoor digital signage, billboards, and video production to help you reach more customers and close more business. For over 30 years, Bass has helped our customers tell their story. Bass Companies. Remember, a business without a sign is a sign of no business. Advertise with Bass. Find us around Acadiana or at bassltd.com.
Ozempic, Wegovy, GLP-1s. Every day, one thought haunts you. What if I stop? A 2026 British Medical Journal study says you're going to gain every pound back. So, what now? Well, there's an answer. Alex Goen patented hypnosis. The Journal of the American Medical Association says adding behavior therapy to GLP-1s produces 3 times the results than GLP-1s alone. And hypnosis is behavior therapy concentrated. Alex Goen Hypnosis is the only U.S. patented hypnosis proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office. Engineered to destroy cravings, make you full on half the food, and kill late-night fridge attacks. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome, 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 3 out of 4 from the Detroit Tigers on the road this past weekend, including a 7-5 extra innings win on Sunday that featured a 3-run homer by Christian Walker in the 10th inning. Next up is a home series versus the Minnesota Twins. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch from Dyken Park scheduled for 7:10. You can listen to the action on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. We moved into the knockout stages of the World Cup, and the first match was yesterday when Canada eliminated South Africa 1-0 when Stefan Eustáquio scored in the 92nd minute. Today we'll feature 3 more matches. It'll begin with Brazil versus Japan at noon, then Germany will play Paraguay at 3:30, and the nightcap will be the Netherlands versus Morocco at 8 o'clock. Former LSU Tiger Flau'jae Johnson became the second fastest guard in WNBA history since 1997 to score 250-plus points, grab 100-plus rebounds, and have 50-plus assists. The 22-year-old Johnson did so in 20 career games. Weather played a factor all weekend in Cromwell, Connecticut for the Travelers Championship. Scotty Scheffler sunk an 8-foot putt on hole 18 to force a playoff which will take place this morning to decide a tournament winner. And Charlotte Hornets aren't finished making trades. This time they shipped Miles Bridges, a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2027 pick swap in the second round to the Phoenix Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first-round pick. I'm James Mesh, and this will be your 2-minute drill on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes, or back into Footnotes. You are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles on this glorious Monday morning. If you would like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111. We have gotten off to a good start on our Footnotes, week 5 of Footnotes Summer Project. It's LSU McNeese week. So, you know, we did a few LSUs in basketball, a few Cajuns in basketball. I don't remember if I don't think we had any McNeese suggestions in basketball, but we did a couple of those. And so we included those in there, but we're off to a good start. One of the ones, there's certain suggestions, and Jay has said it several times when he called. I know it's not going to finish in the top 10, but it's still cool to hear them. And one of those I got was Conley Verdon and Reggie Poole. I mean, like, whoa, I hadn't thought about that one in a while. That's like 30 years ago. But it's and it wasn't, like a top 10er, but, they certainly had their moments, no question there. In kind of a transition era from one coach to the other in Cajun basketball in the 90s. So, yeah, it's cool to hear those that you hadn't really heard in a long time. So we've got it's kind of wide open this week because you're talking about the potential for a lot of different sports and could make for a lot of different suggestions, but that's okay. It's all in good fun. All right, let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I got an LSU one and I got a Cajun one, Kevin.
Okay.
But LSU one is going to be very recent. A 1-2 punch for LSU baseball and Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. I don't know if LSU ever had two pitchers, 1 and 1A, that were that good. I mean, they were both really, really good for LSU. I mean, I know you can go back to the history and a bunch of other ones, but, man, they were pretty good last year.
Well, the first one that comes to mind to me was Chad Auger and Paul Byrd. I mean, they were – they both spent many years in the major leagues and were really good major league pitchers at times. Auger probably had a little bit more of a ceiling, and Byrd had more longevity at the major league level. But no, that would be the first one to come to mind. But you're right. I mean, Ianson and Cade Anderson were great, and Cade Anderson is lighting it up in the minor leagues too. The only thing I don't like about that is he's in the Seattle organization. And so if he's as good as we think, the Astros might be having to feel the brunt of that.
Isn't Ianson doing pretty good too? And who is he with, Kevin?
I want to say the Red Sox drafted him, if I remember correctly, but I haven't heard a lot about him. Doesn't mean he's not doing good. I just haven't heard a lot about it.
All right, my Cajun one is Graylin Warner and Dion Rainey. Now, they did. Okay, well, let's go back to the Graylin Warner days. Okay, I thought he was the best player on that team when they were playing. But who was it? Who was number 2 on that team, Kevin?
Well, it would be Deion Brown. That team was, depending on what year you were talking about, it was Deion Brown, Alonzo Allen, Graylin Warner all came in together. Figueroa was a senior on that team in 1980, 81. And then the next year they got Pop Turner, who kind of was, for 2 years, was a really good player. And then right after Pop Turner, they got Drexel Allen. So, but the core was Graylin and Deion. I agree.
And then you go back to the team that won the Alaskan Shootout. I mean, Johnny Collins and the center Gay. I mean, who
Dan Gay. Well, that was Graylin. That was Deion Brown and Graylin Warner. Pop Turner, that was his first year, and Dan Gay was there. Yes, and Johnny Collins was the point guard. Yes.
Yes, I remember those days. I remember that too. I remember. Did you listen? Did you stay up? I mean, I don't know if you were. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were writing at that time. Did you?
No. That was those games on the radio? Yeah, I was in high school at that time. That was right. That was like 2 years before I started working at the paper. No, Deion and Graylin. That was my high school years, and I just absolutely loved it. I mean, that was, I was just again that the only teams that were what the Saints and the Astros are to me right now was UL basketball in the 80s and 70s, yes.
Yes, indeed. I remember seeing it at those games, Kevin. Your heart was spilled out on the court every night.
Absolutely.
I remember that.
Yes,
you were very adamant.
Yes.
Have a good one.
All right. I had stories to tell for sure. I mean, again, if y'all think I'm crazy now, you should have. I mean, back then it was totally. It was.
So you're saying you're mellow compared to
what? Oh, I'm very mellow compared to where I was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very mellow compared to what I used to be. Very mellow. No, that I think Graylin Warner, Deion Brown would be one of my favorites. UL basketball combos for sure. But yeah, I mean, Cade Anderson again. I ain't saying maybe doing great. I just haven't heard. But I've heard a lot of. I mean, it's hard not to hear about Cade Anderson because he's doing so good. And then you hear it because. For what I get a lot of American League West stuff because the Astros are in it, so you're hearing about that all the time. So no, that's some good combinations, no question. And we got a lot more to do this week. But again, I think those Cajun basketball teams of the early '80s are tough because of what FedEx Man kind of hinted at. The beauty of those teams was balance. Like, Graylin did what he did. Johnny Collins was a really good point guard. Pop Turner came in and could really score and helped out there. Dan Gay was very consistent. Deion Brown was like I said, I don't know, remember what he averaged, but like about a 15-10 guy, the kind of guys that I like. And Graylin could get some rebounds, but he was tall and thin and could shoot and hit the mid-range jumper. I think those teams were very balanced, and that's kind of what made what they are. And I think it's hard to come up with a definite 1-2 punch because of how balanced they were. But I think of that group, you would have to say Graylin and Deion. I think would be the 1-2 point nominee, if you wanted to put it that way, because of that. So we will, we'll do more of that. The right before in that era, or right around that era for LSU, they were very balanced too. That was a great era, by the way, because LSU was really good in that era. The teams that Jardy played on were really good and really talented, and the Cajun teams were really good. McNeese was really good. Lamar was really good. I mean, it was just, and again, I don't think just because I was into it, it was really good. I mean, the McNeese UL, the UL Lamar, and I'm sure the McNeese Lamar fans. I'm pretty sure McNeese didn't like Lamar any more than the Cajun fans liked Lamar back in those days. The B.V. Davis, Clarence Key, Mike Oliver days. I mean, it was again because McNeese was really good from the 70s. He had a lot of great players, and then right after that is when Dumars got there. And he was his own deal, and Cajuns struggled with them. A lot of people struggled with McNeese when Dumars was there because he was so good. But no, that was a great era. A lot of good possibilities there for suggestions there. All right, so we talked about our poll question of the day when we started our second segment a little bit less than an hour ago, but I don't know that is there any reaction, or is one way ahead of the other? I'm thinking because of the timeliness that Bush is going to be way ahead would be my guess, because a lot of people may not even know about the Rick Monday thing.
You would be wrong.
I would be wrong?
You'd be wrong.
Wow.
If anything, there's actually no votes towards Garrick's farewell speech.
Yeah, because, again, that is a great human drama. I don't know how patriotic it is.
Yeah. Rick Monday saving the flag actually has the most votes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got 44%. A third of the votes have said towards President Bush's first pitch. And then 22% have said other. Looking towards other, JBK had said the Braves game at Fort Bragg in 2016 was awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Ralph said Monday's flag save, the fact that he was a Marine, just added to the moment. And then Ton said, honestly, the fact that so many, in the greatest generation left behind baseball, fought overseas, then resumed their careers is the most patriotic thing I can fathom. Unfortunately, Many never came back home. On the list, I went with Monday. Seeing it replayed never gets old.
Again, that the thing he's suggesting is real. It's hard to come up with a moment for that. You know, you had guys like Bob Feller and Ted Williams, and the list, that's World War II. And then before that, Christy Mathewson, one of the great pitchers of all time, essentially died early because of whatever the chemicals or whatever that he endured or breathed in or whatever in World War I. And so, you can go back to World War I, and there were guys who went and fought in the war, and, some of them died in the war, but most of them made it back. But then, in his case, he died years later, not that many years later, because of the after effects of it. And so it was, there's a ton of guys who went and fought in the war and left their baseball careers and sacrificed. And, Ted Williams is considered one of the great, war athletes, military athletes. He's kind of legendary in that way. And yeah, he would have hit more home runs, and guys like Bob Feller would have struck out a whole lot more batters, and if they hadn't. So that's very true. It's just in the context of this moment. I don't know what moment that I can imagine what the national anthem at baseball games would have been like, when they came back and started playing again. These days, sometimes it's just something that you do in the game, and you do it because it's the right thing, but it doesn't mean that it's like this magical moment. But I'm sure when they came back from World War I and then from World War II, or to be fair, I don't even know if they were playing the national anthem yet after World War I. They definitely were after World War II. It was right around the time of World War I, I think, is when they actually started playing the national anthem at baseball games. Before that, they didn't do that. And so I'm when they came back from World War II, I would think there were quite a few magical moments playing the national anthem at baseball games after they came back from that. But, it's just not any that any of us know specifically. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Regional Homes of Opelousas and ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles want to help you celebrate America's 250th birthday. We're giving you a chance to win a 250th anniversary of American flag and flagpole kit. Tune in today during the lowdown, D-Low from 1 to 3 for the American trivia question. And you could be one of our lucky winners. Tune in later today for our special giveaway. Salute and happy 250th birthday, America.
Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of Four Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserloh talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Bro Bridge Highway and on the banks of the Vermilion River. Come out today and try your luck at the Bro Bridge Truck Stop Casino.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local, certified South Louisiana.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we share these stories.
I was 35 with 2 beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please, don't wait. Your life matters to us. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. 800-819-8313. That's 800-819-8313.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. Benedict Arnold's. 1, 2, 3. A division foe of the Saints who stole a bunch of Saints players and reminds Kevin of the 18th century military officer, also known as the Carolina Panthers. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Again, if you want to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, do so 706-0111. We got off to a good start on our 1-2 punch Footnote summer project. Again, it's Cajuns, Tigers, and the Cowboys. We don't have any McNeese suggestions so far. If we don't get some, I'll start doing some, but we certainly want people who are much more educated and have much more specific memories than me doing that. But certainly we'll try to get to that as the week goes on. We've talked a little bit about the Astros in Major League Baseball. The Braves did avoid the sweep. They did win one game against the Giants, but lost the series, and they are now only 3 games up in that division. So, again, I understand the National League, is ahead of the American League right now. That's certainly the case. But the Punks are, I don't think anybody's going to threaten the Punks in the division race for sure. But beyond that, even in the National League, you've got, I think it's going to be a very interesting second half of the season unless too many teams pull away. But, the Marlins are still a solid club. They're only 6 out. The best offense in baseball right now is the Washington Nationals. Like, I'm not saying no one thought they had any good young hitters, but I don't know that people thought it was going to progress this rapidly. And again, they're only 7.5 back. And in the wild card, they're obviously a lot closer than that. The Cubs, I always talk about it's not who you play, it's when you played them. When the Astros played the Cubs had a really good record, but they were swooning in June. I mean, they were struggling. They couldn't score hardly any runs. And the Astros were able to go to Wrigley and sweep them. I don't know that I'd want to play the Cubs right now because all of a sudden they are just red hot. And they had a great series win over the Brewers over the weekend, and so they're only 5.5 back. So it's a lot of interesting baseball to be played. The Astros played the Rays this weekend. The Rays are back in first place. They currently have the best record in the American League. They're 31-12 at home. this year. Man, can they keep up that winning percentage? If they're going to win that division, they're going to have to do better on the road, one. But two, they're going to have to keep playing just unbelievable baseball at home, which they have so far this year, 31 and 12. Kind of home sweet home. Last year they had to play away from home, and it did not go well for them at all, not playing in their home ballpark. And they're back, and now they're loving it for sure. It's a park that everyone hates, but they love playing in it. And so we'll see what the Astros do with the Rays this weekend. But again, lots going on in baseball. Lots going on in the NBA, even though it's over. Are you buying this thing that ESPN was floating this morning? Did you hear this rumor that they're trying to – I don't think that they were trying to not report it but hint at it enough to where it was not like a full-fledged prediction or anything, but they were certainly hitting at it pretty heavy of LeBron James going to the Warriors.
Yeah, LeBron and I think them somehow getting AD as well is what I had seen. We'll see. I'm not going to bank on it by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, the last big rumor ended up coming to fruition. And people are still saying Jalen's not going to end up with the Celtics. That's still the popular thought process. So we'll see how that ends up. So there's a lot of jockeying, in other words, going on in the NBA right now, in addition to everything going on.
Well, I also just believe the one that I'm fully expecting to happen really in a couple hours even would just be the Kawhi Leonard one to Dallas.
Wow. That'd be interesting.
Did you hear about that one?
I did not.
No. Kawhi, they're supposed to be sending him, and then the Clippers would get back like Klay Thompson.
His career is fading.
Yeah, it's faded fast. I'm trying to find the full one, so you can go ahead.
But no, that is
Oh yeah. Mavericks and Clippers have discussed a deal that would send Kawhi to Dallas for a package that would include Klay Thompson, draft picks, and PJ Washington.
Okay, so I wonder if they told Dusty May that they thought they were going that way, or did that have absolutely nothing with his decision? Although Kawhi, how much fun is he really to coach? He's a strange bird, Kawhi Leonard.
Well, I remember hearing stories when Kawhi first got to the Clippers, when PG and them were already there, that like one practice, what had happened? They had a thing where like you got to go get the ball and then run a lap and then come back if you airball during a practice or during like a scrimmage. So everybody would do that, and that was just kind of the rule over there. And then Kawhi comes, and they look at him like, "You gonna go get the ball and go run your lap?" And he's like, "It's basketball. I'm gonna airball again. Why would I do that?" And then somebody else airballed later on. He's like, "See."
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He's different. I mean, at times he's great, but he is. I don't know how much fun it would be to coach him. Is what I'm saying. I don't know. He's a fun guy.
Now I have also heard that Kawhi and a Raptors reunion may also very likely be a thing. So it feels like no matter what, his time in Los Angeles is coming to a close. Whether he goes back to Canada or goes back to Texas.
The poor Clippers.
I mean, they're cursed. I mean,
it just never happens.
They've always just been little brother.
It's just
they've just always been the little brother to Lakers.
Well, and plenty of years they're better than the Lakers, but they just never can win big. Like it never matters in the end, and it never can finish.
I mean, they've never gone past the second round, right? Or have they made a conference championship? I can't recall a time that they've ever gone to a conference championship.
They just never seem to finish. I don't. I mean, I can't believe it's the whole Laker thing. I mean, I know that plays into it, but like there have been years where the Lakers have had a lot of years in the last 15 years that weren't very good. It's not like the Clippers couldn't be good.
The answer is yes. I forgot that they did make it for 2020 and 2021. So during that shortened season.
Yeah, they just can't finish.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they just can't finish. Well, a lot of people don't even count those years.
It's just pretty fair.
That year, yeah. A lot of people don't even count it. Just really strange. So, no, again, there's some other things to look at besides whatever baseball team you're following and the World Cup. Speaking of the World Cup, it's almost like football, and I guess it is football. And so it makes sense that it is because, we're obviously doing a lot of waiting here. And so got 2 more days to wait before the American team plays again. All right, let's head back out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Kevin. How are you this morning again?
Good morning, sir. Get to hear that voice twice now in a short period of time. No, it wasn't always pretty, but they got 3 out of 4.
Oh, I love it. And it was one of those games yesterday where, as we watching, we couldn't do anything. We just looked bad. At bats looked bad, swinging at everything. And all of a sudden, come the 7th inning, I said, man, we have a shot whenever the new guy
Delgado, hits a 2-run homer. Yes.
Yep. I said, you know what? We have a shot here. Then Paredes hit his next home run. Jordan's been in a slump. I mean, I don't know what he's going to come out of it eventually. He will. He always does. But what about our bullpen? Wow.
De Los Santos looked pretty tired yesterday. He faded, but no, their starting pitching hasn't always cooperated, but the bullpen, for what they are, it has been fabulous really all year compared to what I thought it could be. By the way, Isak I've been hard on because he's been awful for most of the season. In the last home road trip, he was fabulous. He drove in a run in just about every game, and then he just crushes a home run yesterday to tie it. He's been great lately. And you mentioned it. One of the best thing, if not the best thing on this path, they went 5-2 on that road trip and got essentially nothing from El Perro Grande. He didn't drive in a run.
Nothing. And Paredes is also hitting Oppo. Look at that. He's hitting the ball hard, solid, gave us the win on Saturday with the 2 RBI single that he had.
Both. He had
used to him pulling it.
Absolutely. He's been a dead pull hitter, and he got one way closer to the line, a 2-run double on Saturday, and then he gave him the lead for good with a single to right on yesterday. So, no, Isak Paredes has come up big lately, and that's great to see because for most of the first 2 months of the season, he didn't do anything. And he wasn't even having a lot of good at-bats like he normally does, but he's really stepped up lately.
Hey, I'm really impressed by him. And you know who I'm impressed with? With the guys coming off the bench. Tramel's doing well. Jake Myers has always been iffy. I've always said that. I don't know what you're going to get out of him, but yesterday he had a pretty good game. He had a double, and he scares me. But him, Loperfido, the home run the other day to put us ahead, the 3-1 blast. Christian Walker yesterday with a 3-1 home run. And what about those at-bats to get us to that position?
No, a lot of clutch at bats, no question. Now, again, you're not going to face the worst bullpen in baseball again, probably. Maybe one other time if they play the Nationals. But they're going to have to do a little better early, get a little better starting pitching. Still a little disappointing in the starting pitching, but hopefully that'll solidify here pretty quickly.
I think it will, too. And you know what else is what's driving me right now is the way that, as we going through, we look at this, two games under 500 now. We struggled this whole season just trying to get there. We had an awful May, probably one of the worst Mays we've ever had. And we're so used to them winning. But I'm excited. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but I hope that we can continue going with it, and I hope that Jordan, he'll come out of it eventually. He always does.
Oh, yeah, he will, no question. All right, I appreciate it. It's great hearing from you again. Yes. No, it's not a negative. It's a positive. When you can win a series and you get nothing from your best hitter. Like, he didn't do hard. Now, I'm not going to say he didn't do anything because which game was that? The game that they won 2-1, he hit a ground ball to second base and advanced the runner to the third, scored on a sac fly by Isak, and that ended up being, it was the game they won 2-1. It was game 1 of the series. That was Thursday. So Yeah, so it's not like he didn't do anything, but not what he had no RBIs. He wasn't driving the ball. He didn't hit any home runs. And, he had a pretty much nothing road trip, and yet the team went 5-2, a little bit because of their pitching, but mostly it was because of a lot of big hits. And so that's good that you're getting cooperation from a lot of different hitters to make all of that happen. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 3 out of 4 from the Detroit Tigers on the road this past weekend, including a 7-5 extra innings win on Sunday that featured a 3-run homer by Christian Walker in the 10th inning. Next up is a home series versus the Minnesota Twins. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch from Dyken Park scheduled for 7:10. You can listen to the action on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. We moved into the knockout stages of the World Cup, and the first match was yesterday when Canada eliminated South Africa 1-0 when Stefan Eustáquio scored in the 92nd minute. Today we'll feature 3 more matches. It'll begin with Brazil versus Japan at noon, then Germany will play Paraguay at 3:30, and the nightcap will be the Netherlands versus Morocco at 8 o'clock. Former LSU Tiger Flau'jae Johnson became the second fastest guard in WNBA history since 1997 to score 250-plus points, grab 100-plus rebounds, and have 50-plus assists. The 22-year-old Johnson did so in 20 career games. Weather played a factor all weekend in Cromwell, Connecticut for the Travelers Championship. Scotty Scheffler sunk an 8-foot putt on hole 18 to force a playoff which will take place this morning to decide a tournament winner. And Charlotte Hornets aren't finished making trades. This time they shipped Miles Bridges, a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2027 pick swap in the second round to the Phoenix Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first-round pick. I'm James Mesh, and this will be your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Lafayette Stars and Stripes is back and bigger than ever as America celebrates its 250th anniversary. Join us Saturday, July 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette for a night of patriotic fun. Gates open at 5 p.m. with live music by Sold Out and Rusty Matwire and the Zydeco Crush, along with delicious food trucks, family activities, local vendors, and plenty of surprises. Then look to the sky for a spectacular fireworks finale at 9:30 p.m. Free admission presented by Lafayette Utility System, LFT Fiber, and Delta Media.
BB's Auto Sales has been serving Acadiana since 1966. Cleanest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Need financing? No problem. BB's offers easy financing for all credit types, including in-house financing. Plus, they're paying top dollar for your trade. Voted top 3 dealership in Community Choice Awards 2 years in a row. Visit BB's Auto Sales, 2 convenient locations off Johnston Street and in Abbeville. BB'sAutoSales.com. Cleanest cars in Acadiana.
You thinking trailers? Think Tibbs. Whether you tug it, tow it, or transport it, Tibbs Trailers is your headquarters for enclosed, flatbed, and hydraulic trailers. You won't find a better selection or a better price than right here. We've got the experts to repair or customize your trailer so it'll be ready for whatever you pull it through. Why would you go anywhere else when you can go to Tibbs Trailers? Now we're talking trailers.
Between Scott and Doosan.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. The Cheaters. A team that always defeated the New Orleans Saints and cheated throughout the 90s, according to Kevin at least. Also known as the San Francisco 49ers. Now, back to the man with his very own language. Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you want to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, give us a call at 337-706-0111. If you would like to give us a call, certainly feel free to do so. Again, we are day one of week 5 of our Footnotes Summer Project. It is 1-2 punches, and it's a little depressing for me because I'm trying to relax my little mind as much as I can during the summer months, and we are now just 2 days away from July, and then 2 weeks from 2 days from now, essentially the football season starts for me with Sunbelt Conference Media Days. I mean, if we keep going in this direction, we're going to have it in June? What is going on here? Anyway, they just trying to get to football season as quickly as possible, which, again, that's not I need. My little mind has to. Man, I can't even imagine had the Cajuns won a regional and got to a super regional or gotten to the World Series. I mean, we'd be going right from. It would be no summer. It would just be going right to football season. I mean, they need to halt that trend. Got to have a little break for the little mental people like me. But anyway, trying to push it away. Although once we get closer to June, the anticipation for the Saints season is going to be, it's going to be just. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. It's going to be anxiety overload. Anticipation overload for sure. Obviously, there's not a whole lot going on right now in the NFL. It's kind of the dead period for the NFL, if that exists. But one of the things that came out probably, I think, since we last spoke, is this idea that the Saints are going to be playing these, having these little scrimmages, team versus team scrimmages with other teams. And the beauty of that is one of them is with the Rams. And so that means for once the Saints aren't playing the Rams. Sure seems like they had to play the Rams a lot in recent years. But it's nice that they can do the little inter-squad scrimmage and preseason games with the Rams and not play them in the regular season for a change. Although, the last time the Saints played against Myles Garrett, the Saints played with like a rookie left tackle, and Myles Garrett didn't do anything. They shut him down that whole game. So they got some decent experience against Myles Garrett, but that could be a different animal with all the talent he's going to have around him in L.A. And, again, I've heard some people recently talking about FedEx Man's little team going undefeated. They need to stop with that, like undefeated, as if. That's not happening. They're good, but they're not that good. And they play in way too tough a division for undefeated stuff. So we'll see how. I don't really know what to think of Seattle. I think Seattle's really good. I think they're very well coached. the quarterback was good, but probably not as good as we'd think. There's still plenty of room for improvement for him. He in the middle of the season and even in the playoffs, he didn't really play that well. Now, he had a stretch there in the season where he was playing really well, but he had a pretty big slump in the middle of the season, and they were able to handle it because they're so good defensively and in special teams, and they just have a team and they're well coached. So I don't know what to think of Seattle. They're going to be interested, but no, nobody from that division is going undefeated. Like, you look at the Rams' schedule; it's pretty brutal. So I look at that as just irresponsible, silly talk. But anyway, it's the time of the year if you're going to do irresponsible, silly talk with the NFL now. It is the time to do it for sure. Again, if you'd like to give us a call on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111. So we kind of started to get to it before we had a call and got into some other subjects, but we got 2 more days of waiting for America to play in the World Cup again. And it being 4th of July week, I think it's going to be even more interest with not a lot, unless you're a big fan of a baseball team like I am and a lot of you. I mean, there's going to be could this be the most watched? The point I'm getting to is this going to be the most watched USA in the World Cup game ever? I would think. I mean, it's July 4th week. There's not a lot of other stuff going on. They had an encouraging pool play round. I mean, it might be like there's going to be a lot of people tuning into that to see how they perform, and it's even for those who might be a little on the negative side. Like, it's, from what I've been told, Blake knows way more about than me. It's a very winnable game, and so I think for those who want to see them win, and for the whole 4th of July week thing we're talking about, we got a patriotic poll question. I'm assuming we're going to have another patriotic poll question tomorrow. Is that correct? Is that the plan?
Boy, you're a smart one.
I said I was assuming. I didn't say I was going out on a limb.
You got a strong pair of shoulders.
Yeah. You're crazy.
Yes. Tomorrow will be about the NFL.
That's a sensitive subject with me, because right after 9/11, the Saints were the ones that had to go up and play the Giants, and they called 52 flags on the Saints in that game. That's a rough one for me. That was before your time.
I mean, technically, yes and no.
You were alive.
I was alive.
What was going on.
I had no idea. No clue.
So, no, we'll look forward to that. I'm just saying, my point is that I would think the ratings are going to be really good for this one. And it's on the West Coast, but it's not overly late. It's not like, having to stay up for Astros at the Pit growing up with 9:30 start and finishing at 1:30 or 12:45 in the morning. It's not one of those kind of deals. So should be really good. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Make sure you celebrate America's 250th birthday with Lafayette Stars and Stripes, held on Saturday, July 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette. There'll be kids' activities, local pop-up shops, food vendors, musical performances by Sold Out, Rusty Matoir, and Zydeco Crush, as well as DJ Digital and fireworks in the evening. This is a free family event, so make sure to mark your calendars for the Lafayette Stars and Stripes, presented by Lafayette Consolidated Government, LUS, LFT Fiber, Serving Good Vibes, AVA, and Delta Media Corp.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros. As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN. alexgoen.com.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Happy birthday, America. Celebrate our 250th birthday with the largest selection of guaranteed fireworks in Acadiana at Freeman's Discount Fireworks. Their low prices are unbelievable, and all fireworks are guaranteed. They have a huge selection of novelty items to choose from, a large selection of fireworks, and Freeman's Fireworks has the largest selection of artillery shells, assortment packs, and 500-gram cakes. Celebrate America's 250th birthday with your family and the Freeman family with guaranteed fireworks that everyone enjoys. Freeman's Discount Fireworks has 2 convenient locations in New Iberia. They're building on Jefferson Island Road at Admiral Doyle next to Freeman's Food and Furniture, and the Big Tent on Main Street near the corner of Nelson Canal Road. For the largest selection of guaranteed fireworks at the best prices, shop Freeman's Discount Fireworks.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. The Little MVPs, a Major League Baseball team that struggles to win games despite having multiple MVP winners on its roster, also known as the Los Angeles Angels. Now back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Welcome back to Footnotes. I wouldn't want to mess with the little MVPs right now. They've won 6 out of 8. Wasn't that long ago they crushed the Punks, and then they won a series against the Astros. And that was awful. Then they played the Rays, won a series against them too. They just beat the last week or so. They just won back-to-back series against the A's, and they've won 6 out of 8 games, and they're playing pretty well. I still don't think their bullpen is all that good, but they got a couple arms in the bullpen with some good numbers though. They do have a couple, and their starting pitching has been good, and they're hitting pretty well. Soler came back swinging a pretty big stick. They got some good young hitters. They go to Seattle. Hopefully they can keep up a good play of the last few weeks. The little MVPs. There was nothing fluky when the Astros lost that series to them. They just couldn't get them out. Of course, they couldn't get the Tigers out, and the Tigers' bullpen was terrible, so they got bailed out. But I'm not a good time to play the little MVPs. There's plenty of other times in the year where they're going to be a lot worse. So, interesting series that open as we get to a new week here. The Astros open up with the Twins. Nothing all that intriguing other than it's the Astros. But you've got the Tigers Yankees coming off of getting swept, playing the Tigers. Bad circumstance game for the Tigers. The Rangers are red hot. They're going to Cleveland, who just beat Seattle, won a series with Seattle, so the Astros are going to be pulling for them. The Phillies have been pretty hot for a while now, and they're playing a Pirates team who a lot of people are high on, and they're playing well. But for the most part, they're around 500, which they normally are not around 500 this late in the season. But they didn't have a great weekend, and now they're having to go to Philly. So we'll see how that plays out. The A's in the Astros division is playing the Punks this weekend. Not good for them. But I think probably the most interesting one for me may be the Padres. Kind of showing a little life, but they're going to play the Cubs, and the Cubs are just red hot right now. So a couple, I wouldn't say anything close to a blockbuster series. The White Sox are in first place, going to play the Orioles. But White Sox are kind of like the Rays. Not as good record-wise, but they play really well at home, not nearly as good on the road. And so we'll see how they can do playing at Baltimore. But they're certainly, for them, having this, it's been a while, not like really long. It wasn't that long ago the Astros were playing the White Sox in the playoffs within the last decade. But they, it looked like they had a good young team and it all fell apart. Now they're rebuilding a little bit, and they've got a manager that a lot of people like in Will Venable. And we'll see how if they can start winning some road games. Again, we'll kind of keep an eye on that. And we don't talk that much Major League Baseball other than the Astros during, while the NBA playoffs are going on and, back when we were talking about the NFL draft and stuff like that a lot. But in the month of July, before we get to some real football, We'll be talking quite a bit more about what's going on because, as I said, and I've been pushing, I really think that it's going to be a fun second half because so many teams are still in it in the National League and the American League, but especially the American League. So it's shaping up to be. The problem with the way that it's looking is, the Punks are going to be so overwhelming favorite to win the World Series probably unless something really strange happens between now and then. Of course, if they don't win it, then it's going to make it that much more sweet. And so I guess that's good and bad. But there were people who were pretty convinced that, what they want, which I hate, is the Punks and the Yankees in the World Series. But I don't know that there's too many Yankee fans right now all that confident that they're about to go to the World Series at the end of this season. Long way to go, a little bit less than half a season to go. But they certainly have some issues, like a lot of teams do. And the truth of the matter is everybody in the American League has issues. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. And so it will be interesting to see if the Yankees get real hot after that 4-game sweep. And last night's game, it looked like they were going to pull it out. Like Sonny Gray took a no-hitter till really late in the game, and then the Yankees tie it, and all the Red Sox have to do is catch a ball in right field and throw it to second base. Like, catch the ball in right field, throw it to second base, and they win the game in 9 innings. Instead, they don't. And they end up going to extra innings. The Yankees scored 2 runs in the top of the 10th. You're thinking, well, they're going to win. And then they didn't even come close to getting the Red Sox out in the bottom of the 10th before Jarren Duran won it with a it'll probably been a double, but officially it's a RBI single to win the game and scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 10th. So really strange game and a strange finish. It looked like the Yankees were going to be able to salvage and avoid the 4-game sweep, but then the Red Sox in the bottom of the 10th just boom, boom, boom. It happened pretty quick. They scored 3 runs pretty quick in the bottom of the 10th to secure that 4-game sweep. So very interesting to see how those two teams bounce back from that. All righty. Y'all have a good day.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday, powered by Regional Homes of Opelousas and ESPN 1037 and 1041. We're giving you the chance to win a 250th Anniversary of America flag and flagpole kit. Listen on air for the American Trivia question, and you could be one of our lucky winners. We're giving away 5 flag and 5 flagpole kits during the week of July 4th. Thanks to our friends at Regional Homes of Opelousas. Salute, and happy 250th birthday, America.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Aber, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Aber, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealAbear.com. That's BealAbear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know